Hello everybody, Bubblezest here, and this is Hoi4. In today's video, we're going to be attempting to answer the question of, what's the point of the Democratic Baltic trees? I say that because while there are 3 Baltic trees, their Democratic trees are all exactly the same as each other. So, today we're going to be playing as Estonia, because Estonia is the only Baltic nation we haven't played before. So let's do the Era of Silence, go up to speed 5, and begin. Immediately with that extra political power, we're going to ban the Vapsids. And now I'm going to do the Ismailits. Look, there's a lot of focuses I'm not going to be able to pronounce. That's just the way things are. Next up, let's establish the Rasvagu. I know, I'm sorry. 100 political power now allows us to also ban communism. I know it doesn't sound very democratic to be banning your opposition, but this is called the Era of Silence for a reason. With the unpronounceable duo done, we can now secure the Chamber of Deputies. And hey, free Civ. With us not paying attention to the Vaps, it must be kind of funny. They have no popularity, nothing, but yet they're still marching. I just like the idea that they're going through Tallinn and literally no one's looking at them, and they're always disappointed. Now that we've secured the Chamber of Secrets, let's modernise Tallinn. Another 2 civs, pretty good. 150 political power, partial mob time. Okay, now the Vaps will be rising in 80 days time. Won't be anything too problematic. We've modernised the capital, and now let's exploit the banks for more consumer goods reductions. And yes, I joined the anti-Comintern pack. We may as well. We also have over 5 civs, so let's create an intelligence agency. Don't think we'll be able to afford any upgrades, but it is always useful to have one. What do you know, the Vapsid Estonia has now risen up. Oh well, that's fine. If you haven't noticed, the army has been disbanded for the longest time, so they're not going to do anything. Let's just train up a few extra divisions and take them down as soon as possible. And the focus, fight the Vaps, has also been bypassed. This is actually surprisingly useful. I know it's only 70 days, but 70 days for us is a lot of time. There we go, deployed, wait a day, and go for the victory points. With exploit the banks done, we're just going to wait 11 days for the crackdown. And that's that problem dealt with. And crackdown. Perfect, we can now break the silence. Anyway, 100 XP, Army Drill Expert. You could also go for the Army Morale Expert if you really wanted to. Both are as good as each other. 100 political power again? Okay, Military Theorist. And with that, democracy has prevailed in Estonia. But now let's begin to bring the Baltics together, starting off by formalising the Baltic Entente. I'm so glad that my people oppose rearmament. Do you know what world we live in? Protecting our sovereignty comes first. Yeah, stability seems to be a thing we can't really afford in this run. Oh well. However, we should do worker conditions, it is always useful. Okay, let's formalise this entente. Perfect, they've both joined. Now let's do the Baltic Economic Union. I love how this event has come like a week after they've already joined us. Fair warning, I'm going to be saying Baltic a lot for these next few focuses. What can I do? They all have Baltic in their name. Following that, let's do the Pan-Baltic Bank. What's funny is we're still actually exploiting our banking sector, so we're going to expand our operations into Latvia and Lithuania next. I'm going to start working on my military high command. First up, Infantry Expert. Are you feeling Baltic enough yet? I hope so, because we have to do the Baltic Defence Army now. I actually kind of like this one, only for the recruitable population factor of 30%. We're quite small, so every little bit of manpower we can get is useful. What's really funny is, because of Hoi4 major rules, any faction leader is considered a major, so even at this point, Estonia is now a major. Oh yeah, it's just the normal pantheon of majors: Germany, Italy, Japan. In Estonia? 150 political power, let's go for the popular figurehead. Good, we're over 50% now. We've gotten very close to our Baltic neighbours, but now let's propose. Propose a Baltic Union. Although we could do the other thing if we really wanted to. Oh, I like this. Latvia's doing modernise our industry, which will give them 4 extra civs. Something you might consider doing is holding out for Lithuania to do the same. The thing is, because Lithuania's focus tree is so big, they'll focus on other things long before they do modernise our industry. So I wouldn't rely on it. Finally, let's tie the knot with Baltic unification. If any of you are wondering, we're doing this over united but separate because direct control is generally better. There, you can consider that like the shortest What's the Point episode ever. Just gonna make my ideal template right now. So let's add infantry, 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 artillery. This 18 width block isn't the greatest, but it'll do. Saved. You gotta remember, we're still quite small and we don't have that much recruitable pop. So something like this is a good balance between cheap but effective. Oh yeah, this is a funny one. Proposing the Baltic Union also forces all other Baltic nations to go democratic. So you get a rare view of these portraits. We started with 3 Baltic states. Now there is 1. Funnily enough, doing that focus doesn't actually unify the Baltics. We still actually have to form it. There we go. The Baltics have been unified. And we inherit their entire army. Nice. Right, let's work on our industry for a little bit, starting off by rejoining the railways. Also inherit their entire stockpiles, although kind of annoyingly we don't get any of their generals. The only other thing we get from doing this is Latvia's fleet. I mean, it's better than no fleet, I suppose. Well, you're a man of many talents, aren't you? Now we're going to seek Axis investments. It may not seem like it, but this little focus tree contains the key for our survival. We're going to adopt Axis war economics next. This gives us war economy for free since we're already at partial MOB. Good thing we just have 50% war support though. Well, that was an interesting adoption. Next up, Axis tank licenses. We can't really afford to build a tank division, but I guess this would be useful if you wanted to pursue that. We're really selling ourselves out now. Axis Baltic industry. We're going to give Germany a massive attack buff of minus 1% consumer goods. Not really a good buff in return, is it? But at least we have somewhat of an industry now. Okay, let's standardise this army. We don't have the manpower for it, but we'll get it eventually. The time has also come to disband the Baltic Entente. No real need for it anymore. It's funny. Despite everything, the Soviets will still give us a non-aggression pact. Let's get one. They can't break it until May 1st, 1940. Good. Doesn't look like much, but this will buy us just a tiny amount of time. But a tiny amount of time we kinda need. Alright, let's seek Axis support now. This will be the key for our survival, because we're going to seek guarantees from Germany. I don't know why Germany would have a guarantee of Baltic state, but this will give us an opportunity to get one. And here's Molotov. The Soviets now have claims on us. If we hadn't got a non-aggression pact at this point, they would refuse. Yep, they now have strategic reasons to not like us. We're going to have to wait and see what Germany says. In the meanwhile, let's start the Republican Defense League. Oh, that's bad news. Germany said no. Damn. I guess we could have improved our chances if we improved relations with Germany, but I was half expecting the anti-Comintern pact to be enough. Oh well. We have one defense league, but now let's get another. This is the main reason I chose Estonia, by the way. The extra recruitable population from Women's Defense League is invaluable. Well, we're now very, very much cut off. I've even put my units in a defensive position. Even built forts around them too. There was no way we could defend the entirety of our border, so I went with this. Feels weird to say, but we'll now have some manpower coming in. Good. Now let's focus on the threat on our border. Well, this was inevitable. The Soviet ultimatum. Of course, we could have done cave to enemy pressure and become a puppet, but that's no fun. They'll have to take our land by force. What's the matter, Stalin? Non-aggression pact got your tongue? Oh, that's a shame. Now, for this event, something interesting you should know. Your choice does actually influence one other focus. If you go with Germany, no surrender will change to anti-German military, but right now it's actually anti-Soviet military, which I guess we should go for. Now that is what I call a load of borders. Narva has so many ports I don't think the Soviets will bother attacking it. Despite everything, we still have no allied guarantees, but if I did this exact same game as the Soviets, yeah, they would have guarantees. We must do no surrender next. It's a small buff, but any buff we can give ourselves is a good one. Oh, Soviets broke the non-aggression pact and immediately declared on us. Alright, it has begun. I'm going to let the Soviets flood into Lithuania and parts of Latvia, and as soon as they do, we'll have a proper front line. I would join the Allies, but shouldn't that you didn't do anything with us until the Soviets declared on us? No. Although join the Allies if you really want to, it's not a bad idea. Oh, the Soviets actually are attacking Narva. Didn't expect that. Anyway, service by requirement. And the Soviets also declare on Finland. Do I dare make a faction with them? There you go, the cooler allies. We can hold for a little while, I hope. We're going to stack as much entrenchment as we can. Ambusher. We probably can't defeat the Soviets, but we can at least make them hurt. Oh no, the river line's been broken already. I didn't expect that to happen this quickly. Sure, I'll do desperate defense. May as well. Probably won't make a difference, but every little helps. Damn, that's unusual. The area managed to push Narva, despite it being a level 8 fort. Shows you how precarious our situation is. Most of our forts have already been lost. Oh sure, we have the Soviet cipher, why not? Well, at least 150 odd thousand Soviets will go down with us. At this point, is there any real focus worth doing? Probably not. But at least we had one successful counterattack. The pool of Tartary or something will probably be the end of us. I don't think any propaganda can really help us now. And with that, we're done. I think at most we managed to take down, to be generous, 200,000 Soviets, but it's all for nothing. We have been capitulated. So, what's the point of the Democratic Baltic tree? Well, it's a fine tree, but when you have the Soviets on your border, you're not going to survive that long. The thing is, that German guarantee was the difference between us surviving or us being defeated. Because this is another game I did, and I actually got the guarantee. As you can see, we won. That German guarantee will save you if you can get it. Even managed to get Kerensky as my puppet. Sure, we could have joined the Allies if we really wanted to, and at the very worst we would have become a government in exile. But then again, it might have been years, decades, until the Allies liberated us, so it's not really worth it at that point. We do have this tiny little tree for being in exile, but there's not much there. At least we have technically unlimited manpower. Well, that was an interesting game, wasn't it? I think that's the first time on this channel I've actually lost, but that's okay. You can't win absolutely every game. I'm sure some hardcore Baltic players worth their salt can survive against the Soviets, and that's cool, but that's not really what I was going for. So, until next time everybody, I thank you for watching, I do hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time, from me Bubble Zest, goodbye.